How is everybody doing tonight? Right off the bat, let me mention that I have to get up early tomorrow. There's two things I want to mention. Obviously, I started early. I have to get up early tomorrow, so I don't want to go late. So because I don't want to go late tonight, I have to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I don't want to pick... this one. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got 12 entries there. I think like about 5 times it says ARG. At least 4 times it says ARG. So there's like a 33% chance we get this one. But if we get it, we're not going to do it tonight. Because I have to get up early tomorrow. And I want this to be a good show, this ARG. AR game console. And, 45-minute show is not going to do that justice. So if that wins, although I suppose I could get 90 minutes. No, stick to the plan. We're not going to do that one. But let's see what we do get. Maybe we won't even roll the ARG. And it won't be a conflict. We didn't. We got Ballista. So Ballista is another one that's probably not going to get done in a day. But I also don't think it's going to be a big deal. So we're not going to finish it today, but we'll start on it. Are those rubber bands? I guess it's going to use rubber bands to shoot arrows. Basically, we're making a siege cannon. I see a gear at the bottom, so it probably rotates. I see rubber bands at top, so it's got some power. ROKR Siege Heavy Ballista Epic War. Simulate the operation of a siege ballista. I mean, it sounds interesting. So that's what we're going to do tonight. But we got a couple of things we got to do first. We got to replace the siege ballista on the board, which I think on the wheel, which I think it's already there twice. So let's take the siege ballista off and let's put ARG 2 more times. Take siege ballista off. So tomorrow, 50% of the board will be ARG, and that'll probably be what we roll. Let's see. All right, so there's one ballista off the board, and there's another ballista off the board. All right. Is that only 2 of them? I think so. So we're going to put ARG in both places. ARG. ARG. So ARG is the AR game console, which is now on the board 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's there 6 out of 12 times. So tomorrow we have a 50% chance of rolling the ARG. So the siege ballista is going to stay here. These ones are coming off. But before we start, one more thing. Let's read. It'll be quick. We'll read 5 more of these sandwiches. Brooklyn Italian Heroes, Annandale Road, Staten Island. 150 plus heroes. I think there's like something like 200 heroes. I don't know why they say 150. Oh yeah, no, I guess there's only 150. I don't know. I don't know why I thought there was 200. I guess that would be something. 150. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a series of these. I may not do it daily though. I think I would gain weight more weight if I did 150 heroes in 150 days. Maybe it'll take me like 3 years to go through all 150 sandwiches, but let's do it. So I remember we did Marty Golden yesterday, but yeah, okay, Mike Ruzioni. Okay, so we're up to Bobby Darin. So Bobby Darin, roast beef, sopressata, white American cheese, and gardenia salad. I like it. I like that. Nice roast beef with some salad. Frankie Lane, honey turkey, Munster cheese, and barbecue sauce. Is that the first time we've seen barbecue sauce? At entry 77? and it's with honey turkey and Munster cheese. You know what that's kind of like? The pub sandwich at Wendy's, only they have chicken, not turkey, but they've got Munster cheese and barbecue sauce, and also they've got a pretzel bun, which this, I believe, is just on a regular. I think all these sandwiches are just on Italian bread. Joe Paterno, grilled chicken, fresh mozz, fried eggplant, and honey mustard. That's pretty good. It's pretty healthy, too. It's grilled chicken, not fried chicken. It's not a chicken cutlet. It's not breaded. Although the fried eggplant is going to be breaded. But you got the fresh mozz and the honey mustard. They took Joe Paterno's statue down at Penn State. And I believe the reason was that he didn't report a coach. Or he did report the coach, but he didn't immediately demand the assistant coach's arrest. It's kind of a raw deal. I mean, yes, the guilty person should get all the penalty, but the person who didn't do as much as he could have to stop it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he stopped it, but I guess he didn't do as much to stop it off campus. I don't know. I don't really know the full story. I shouldn't judge. They tore down the statue. There must have been a reason, but I remember feeling well, another guy committed the crime. Why are they tearing his statue down? But anyway, he's still in this menu, Joe Paterno. Francis Ford Coppola. Fried meatballs, lettuce, vinegar, salt, and pepper. Is he known for that sandwich? Is this because Clemenza was making meatballs and oil at the in the first Godfather movie? Why is it fried meatballs? Lettuce, vinegar, salt, and pepper. That is interesting. Vinegar and lettuce. That's like salt, vinegar, lettuce, salt, and pepper. That's like, if it was oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, and lettuce, that would be the way they top a Jersey Mike's sandwich. So we don't have the oil. We just have the lettuce, vinegar, salt, and pepper. But we kind of do have the oil because they're not meatballs. They're fried meatballs. Well, this is an insane sandwich, and I'm not sure why it's Coppola. Other than that, Clemenza was frying meatballs in a scene in The Godfather, and they went ahead and explained and left in the movie Clemenza teaching how to make meatballs. So maybe that's why. All right, last one for tonight. Joseph Barbera. Steak. Thursdays only. You can only get this sandwich on Thursday. Steak, Thursdays only, fresh mozz, peppers, and onions. All right, let's do the Ballista. All right. ROKR Siege Heavy Ballista. I think ROKR is a pretty good name in the models. I'm not sure who's considered the top name. I think the hardest worker in the game right now is U-Gears, but they haven't been around the longest. They have some really bold builds. This ROKR is not as consistent. They have this looks like a pretty big one, but they have some that are pretty small, really thin, like the excavator we were doing the other day. It's almost like they have multiple lines, and they're not known for the functionality. I did the ROKR guitar and it didn't play. I did ROKR cars that don't move. This is apparently going to shoot, but I'm a little skeptical because it shows rubber bands here and it shows an arrow here loaded, but then it shows two drawn on cartoon arrows flying. So I guess, does it only come with one arrow? Is that why one is loaded and the two in the air are fictional? Okay, it does say here, blunt arrow times 3, plywood. So there's 3 arrows. Well, that just raises more questions. Okay, the rocks at the bottom are cartoon. Okay, so we understand there's no fake rocks in this box. The man at the bottom, who looks kind of, frankly, he looks like a Viking. Were Vikings known for siege machines? I don't think so, but there's a Viking here. And he's plywood, and he has a little stand there, keep him from falling over. I don't know if you can see that little guy there. So we've got a plywood Viking. He's got an axe. He's got horns. That's definitely a Viking. But then we've got cartoon stones. And then we have mention of 3 plywood arrows. And there's 1 plywood arrow, but then here's 2 cartoon arrows. So where are the other 2 arrows? Well, they're in there somewhere, but they don't show them on the box. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Let's get this box open and see what's in there. All right, belt clip, knife. I've so many times opened from the wrong spot. All right. I don't want to rip. I don't know why I don't want to rip the box. It's not like I'm going to save the box. But I just don't want to rip it either. I don't know. All right. ROKR Siege Heavy Ballista Epic War. All right. Let's check it out. Now, you want to know if this thing is safe? Don't aim at face or eyes. Warning, choking hazard, small parts. Simulate the operation of siege ballista. So I guess it's a little bit dangerous. I mean, they're saying don't shoot at people's faces. Would like to have the instructions online, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. You don't usually get the ROKR instructions online. You usually have to deal with them, you know? You have to... So, tomorrow, I now have 3 sets of instructions I need to scan. 2 from ROKR and 1 from that nanoblock. 1 nanoblock needs to be scanned. ROKR siege weapon ballista. Let's just see. You know, maybe we can find the instructions. Google. Let's get ROKR siege heavy ballista. All right. Let's add instructions PDF. All right. ROKR Siege Heavy Ballista product. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they put the instructions online. All right. There's a picture of the instructions, but I don't think that's the same thing. Yeah, that's not, that would be cool if it was like big enough that we could read it, but I don't think it is. I think we're going to have to photograph the instructions. Why don't they put them online? Would be nice, right? But they don't. ROKR Siege Heavy Ballista, description, operating instructions, product details, raw materials, assembly, regarding assembly, detailed instruction book. There are clear and understandable picture and text in the manual. Take out the corresponding numbered wooden pieces. Yeah, I don't think they got a PDF online. So I'll have to scan it, put it on the blog, and then that will be how you get your instructions. So for tonight, I'll just snap a quick picture. But then tomorrow, after the track meet, I have 3 sets of instructions that I need to scan. And 2 of them are ROKR. See, you want to know why U-Gears is on this channel so often? Because they have PDF instructions. It's just like... It's a little bit easier for me if they have, like, I don't have to scan it. Not that scanning's a big deal, but, you know, save me a couple minutes. But, you know, those U-Gears puzzles also take sometimes weeks to put together. So maybe I should be happy to take an hour to scan some instructions and make a PDF. for ROKR. All right. It's out of the plastic. Let's see what we got here. Got a little tool there if we need it. We got also paper clip if we need it for dealing with the rubber bands. Are there rubber bands in here, or do I have to supply my own rubber bands? There's definitely sandpaper. There's the instructions. Here's the rubber bands. Nice. I don't see wax in there. Wow, the pieces are like falling out already. I didn't even do anything. There's the wax. Do you see this? They had a little square for the rubber bands, and they have a little square here for the wax. That was actually pretty cool. I just want to show you that from a little closer there. So, there's the wax. Lift it up. There's the wax. Got it out. These pieces are completely out. I didn't do anything. They're just out. Alright, I think that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets? Can we do this in one night? Maybe, if it's only 4 sheets. Alright, so let's get some scanning going here. Well, mock scanning. We're going to photograph it. Alright, ROKR. I'm just trying to photograph the instructions, but I can't seem to get them on. They're like not lining up. Okay, there we go. That's pretty much lined up. Not perfect, but enough to get started here. All right. So there's the instructions until I scan them. All right, so the first instruction. Oh, you know what? We need to do one more thing. We need to set up the scoreboard because we need to count the pieces. Does it say how many pieces this is? Scan to watch. Should we scan that and watch? Well, it's probably just going to play a video. Mechanical user times 3, epic war. I wanted to tell us the number of pieces. There's the code KW401. Firing trigger, ratchet lifting mechanism, medieval cannon. These are sold separately, just like 2 guns. It's like a Terminator gun, cowboy gun, and a siege cannon. Medieval siege cannon. I'm just looking for the number of pieces. It's I can barely make out what that says. 142 pieces. All right, 142 pieces. Skill level 3. 142 pieces, skill level 3. All right, let's do it. So there's the scoreboard. Why does the scoreboard already have data on it? I think that we were doing something else. Yeah, the excavator. I think I cloned this thing. Anyway, that's good. It means that some of the work is already sort of here. We just have to rename it in fact, we don't even have to completely rename it. It says ROKR excavator, and we're going to change it to ROKR siege heavy ballista. All right, and then the scoreboard's ready to go. Siege heavy. You think the autocorrect is going to know what a ballista is? Let's see. I don't know what a ballista is, but the autocorrect knew. All right. Scoreboard. How's that look? ROKR Siege Heavy released 0 of 142, day 1. All right, I think we're good to go. So the first instruction is A6, which is that big circle here. That's A6. Oh, let me get the scoreboard up there. Hold on a second. All right, there it is. I almost turned this one on, which is like, hey, how you doing? But it's this one. I think you want to see the instructions. So the first piece is this. This is A6, right? I mean, it has to be, though I don't see it on the board. Okay, it says it on the piece. It says A6 right here. A6. All right, so A6. And then we need A10 times 6. So where is A10? This is A10. What is this piece? This is a crazy little piece here. These are the A10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's our 6 A10s. All right, so that's going to bring us quickly up to 7 pieces. You know what? I have a good feeling that we can do this in one night. But I probably just jinxed it by saying that. All right, let's see how it goes. Maybe we can. Maybe. All right. Let's get our A10s going. 6 of them. All right. There's our A10s. Now, what do we got to do with them? I think we got to put them in the back. Okay, yeah, the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that's it. So, is there any particular way they're supposed to face? I don't think so. There's no ink on either side, so I don't think it matters which way they face. There's an A10 ink on one side, but I don't think that's a big deal. I think we're just sticking them in here. We're sticking 6 tabs into 6 slots, and we're moving on. You know what? These are the legs. This is the base. These are the legs of the thing. This is going to be like the bottom of this Siege Ballista. And then I guess we'll shoot some darts at the back of this board here. At the end, you know, if it works, if we correctly, completely assemble. You know what I'm a little concerned about? There's 2 rubber bands in the construction. There's way more than 2 rubber bands in this bag. There's a lot of rubber bands in there. All right, so there's the first 7 pieces. We built that base. Next, 3 A1s. So we're up to 10 pieces. So A1 steak sauce right here. They're steaks and they're named A1. No sauce involved though, but 3 A1s. You like the smell of A1 steak sauce? Anyway, where do these go? 1, 2, 3. That's where they go. 1, 2, 3. And again, the only ink is the A1, so I think you can put them in either direction. All right, 1, 2, 3. They're not that snug of fits. They're just like sliding right in. Let's see how that goes over time. All right, the next instruction is a little tricky. B13, is it 2 B13s or 1 B13? They're showing B13 in a little like sub thing here, and then they're showing it again. So I'm not really sure about that. Is there 1 or 2 B13s? I guess we have to look and see. And then they're showing 6 A5s. So let's get the 6 A5s first. So that brings us up to 16 pieces. And then we'll try to figure out, so there's the A5s right there. So six A5s. So we'll get the 6 A5s, and then we'll look into the B13s, which are a little... I'm not sure if we need one or two of them. I guess if we can only find one, then we only need one. If we find two, then we're going to be a little bit confused, but we'll get through it. All right, here's the B board. We're looking for B13. So there's a B13 there. There's some cool ink on the pieces inside of B13. It fell right out. I only see one B13. So that probably means we only need one B13. B12 is going to be at some point used, but right now it looks like nothing. So that, some pieces inside. Now, 1, 2, 3, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 6 here. But these things that we popped out, they've got splinters all over them. We got to get the splinters off. I mean, I assume we got to get the splinters off. They didn't specifically say it. I think the ROKR kind of leaves you to your wit. Oh no, it does actually say. It actually says to sand this piece. It says to sand and wax this piece. So it didn't say it about the tabs, but I did it. But it says it about B13 to sand and wax it. So it's going to be a piece that moves. But how is that if we're putting tabs into it? I guess something that's going to go into that is going to move. So anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 holes in this, 6 holes in this, and 6 tabs. So that's where they're going. How deep are they going is a question. Like, they go all the way through. Okay, they go all the way through. So that means we have to put them in here first. And then just put the other thing on top. I think that's what that means. Let me try it now that there's only 2 on. Before I put the other 4 on. And see if that works. What do you think? Is that working? It's not really going on. Alright, I can't even really see what's going on here. Yeah, you can get them on. Okay, so that's it. That's the plan. Let's get the other 4 in, and then we'll put that back on. Alright, so we should count the B13, which brings us to 17 total pieces. Alright, moving right along here. I think we're going to build this ballista. I don't see it. I don't see anything here slowing us down. But at the same time, 140 pieces is no joke. But 99 pieces I would think was a joke. So maybe I shouldn't be intimidated by 142. Because there's only an extra 42 pieces. Alright, so there we go. Moving right along. Now, these 3 pieces that are like still here, existing, these 3 pipes going up, we're going to work with that. And we need 3 A11s and an A4. So that brings us up to 21 pieces. So 3 A11s and an A4. All right. So we got to go back to the A sheet. So A11 is like a weird piece. And I don't see it here. Is it like inside of one of the... Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's inside here. So A4 is this this piece, this weird piece here. And then these are A3s. They're all A3s. And we need A11. So we need 4 A11s. They're here. I think they're here. So writing is so tiny. Is those A11s? Yeah, those are the 4 A11s. We only need 3 of them, actually. There's 4, but we only need 3 of them. One. Come on. All right, we got 3 of them out. It's tough to get them out without taking the 4th one out. Maybe the 4th one is like a extra in case you mess up or something. I don't know. All right, so not a lot of ink on these pieces so far. Everything's like kind of you can't mess up, or at least I think so. Maybe I'm messing up and we don't realize it. I guess we'll find out. All right, let's get the 3 A11s on there. Do I push them all the way down? I think so, if I'm understanding these instructions correctly. Push them all the way down. All right, so there we go. That's done. All right, now, what are we doing here? They want us to grab B12, A2, wax and sand and wax B12, and just wax A2. All right, so A2. This is A2. There's something inside of it. Whoa, what's going on there? Oh my goodness, the something inside of it is breaking, but I think that's just a holder of other pieces. Hopefully. All right, so they want this waxed on the inside. All right, let's see how quickly we can get that waxed. I feel like I need this wax to be like smaller. It's like not fitting in there. I know, but we want to do this in one night. And I have to wax like an idiot to make that happen. All right, B2. B12 actually, and this is B12. It says to sand and wax it, so it has both an inside and an outside. So I'm going to sand and wax both the inside and the outside. It's obviously a piece that's going to be moving around a lot. Although again, it's got pins in it. So it's actually going to be pieces probably moving against this rather than it itself moving. I say that because there's 4 pins in it. All right, so we waxed these 2 pieces. Now, to move on, this A2, we're going to build something, and it's going to involve a few different pieces. So let's put them in order. The bottom one is going to be the B12, which we already have. The middle one is going to be the A2, which we already have. And then it needs a B1 at the top. So we need to find that B1 and similarly wax it. This is it. This is B1 right here. A lot of these circle pieces have these like little crap pieces inside that we have to try not to lose. All right, so let's sand and wax this one. Well, we're losing time on all this sanding and waxing, but it has to be done if we want the Ballista to be able to move at the end. Yeah, this is like a tricky one. But we'll get it. It's a lot of like, I guess it's not tricky. I mean, it was rated a 3 and it's just pieces stacking on top of each other, but they're like all gonna move apparently. Okay, so we got to account for that piece we just added. So we're up to 24, that B1. And now we need to add 4 A3s, and that's going to get us to 28 pieces. 4 A3s. Here they are. Remember this thing? This is the 4 A3s. So let's get the 4 A3s out there. And then we could throw out these crap pieces. These being the crap pieces. The A4s. No, A3s, sorry. 4 A3s. And now they're going to go into this bottom ring here. And then they're going to go through, I believe, both of these other two pieces, or at least one of them. Not really sure until I put it together how it's going to work. All right. Okay. Let's do this. So A3, which angle does it go in? Does it go in like this or the other way? It's hard to tell from the instructions. Let's zoom in. I think it's perpendicular, but it's really hard to tell. Like this. I think it's like this. Like, the question is, to me, do you put the piece like this or like this? And I think the instructions are like this, but it's hard to tell. All right, the 4 pieces are in. Oh, you know what? We could have told by looking at this. All right, we did it correct. This should have been the double check. If you look at this piece, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And by the way, they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that significant? Do I need to put them on a specific way? I don't think so, but why are they labeled? Crazy. The slots are labeled. Oh my goodness. It doesn't line up. Oh, they are. Okay, the B12 has the same numbers, so you have to line the 1 on A2 up with the 1 on B12. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's only going to fit in one way. So even if these didn't have numbers, you wouldn't mess up because there's only one way that it fits. So the gap between 1 and 4 is longer than the gap. The shortest gaps are here. The longest gaps are here, basically. All right, so there we go. And then the B1 goes on top. The ink, we always want to do ink side out. Also, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got to follow that same system. So the 1 goes here. This is the 1. All right, so the little tab there. Now we're going through just the little tab, like on the top. So just that little piece is going to go in there. If we can get it in there. All right, and it's got to line up on all of them. All right, we got them. I mean, we got 3 of them. And then the 4th one obviously is going to go in. So this is what we built so far, this little like ring here. I don't know. I don't know why we need this thing, but this is what we built. All right, so, oh, we also built this base. Will we connect the 2 things we built? Yep, that's what's happening next. So we're connecting this to the base. How we're doing that, I'm not sure. Let's see here. All right. I think they want, you see these pieces here? These slits? I think they want those facing up. There's also ink on this side, so they probably want that facing up. And now they want this dropped on here. So there's like there's a circle here. I think it's going to line up around that circle there. I think that's the idea, and that's why we were waxing it. Yeah. So it kind of moves because of the wax. I feel like we can add some more wax now that we realize how crucial a connector that is. All right, let's add some more wax here. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, it moves. We might as well wax the bottom as well. I feel like they don't tell you to wax the bottom, but that makes sense, doesn't it? There you go. Got some smooth action now. All right, what's next? They want a gear right on the top, and there's a hole here. There's a hole on the top. You can see right through there, right through that hole. So they want that hole. It's going to get a gear on the top, and on the bottom it's going to get a post. And in the middle here, it's just some washers or whatever you want to call them. Basically 2 A12. So we're adding 4 pieces. A9, 2 A12s, and B17. That brings us up to 32 pieces. All right, so I'm just looking for the pieces. B17. Didn't find it yet. All right. A9 and A12. Here's the 2 A12s. There's actually more than 2 A12s on the board. There's like 2 more A12s here. I just accidentally punched out A15, but it's a very recognizable piece. I don't think we're going to lose it. Here's the A9. It's over here. So let's grab that. So we need one more piece, and that's the piece we need to wax, and that's B17, which is right here, B17. All right. So we need to stack. That's not going to fit, is it? Okay, yeah, I guess that fits on. I don't know. All right, so that's the A12s on the A9. And then we need to wax this gear. Wax it up good, I think. All right, so. Wow, look at all this wax on the table. We'll have to clean that up at the end. All right, so putting this through the bottom here. So that's going to turn, I guess. All right, and then putting this one on top. There we go. That's in. What we've accomplished, I don't know. There's obviously a gear missing, but let's keep building. We have to photograph the instructions again, because if we want the instructions on screen, unless you're fine with just keep doing the instructions like this. No, we gotta photograph them. All right, so the last row here needs to be photographed. I probably should have tried to get all 3. Honestly, when I was doing the first photograph, there's a little like space at the top here. It would have been better rather than to have that space at the top to get the 3 rows. I'll remember that for next time. So, but for now, we just got to get this 3rd row. All right, let's see here. 3rd row. Why is it so difficult to get the 3rd row? All right. So what are we doing here? 3 B5s. Wow, that's interesting. 3 different gears. And they all need to be waxed. All right, so 3 B5s. Here they are. Here's the 3 B5s. Let's wax them all up. There's going to be more wax lying on the table in a minute. All right, let's get them waxed up. B5s are waxed. Now, I think we just got to drop them on there. Like these 3 things here. Yeah, wow. That's interesting. So they have to fit in there, which might involve some turning of gears, but they should, you know, I guess the 3rd one will probably be the toughest one to get in, or maybe not. Maybe it's all going to line up. There we go. All right, let's see what happens when we turn this thing. Okay. Well, it's not moving very easily. Maybe it'll move better when it's like, when the pieces are all like locked in from the top. It is moving, but it's kind of like sticking as well. All right. When we put things on the top, maybe it's going to move better. Right now, all right, let's move from out. Okay, there we go. So this is probably going to get moved from the outside. You're probably not going to like turn that tab to move it. That would be insane. It's probably going to move by moving the whole ballista, and that makes sense. The gears do turn like that. So I think that's how it's going to work. All right. So add the gears, test the gears, right? We did that. What do they want here? A12, A7, 3 A14s. That's 5 pieces. So we're up to 40 pieces. All right, A12, A7, 3 A14s. Here's the A14s. So we need 3 A14s. Dropped one on the floor. Hold on a second. All right, there's the 3 A14s. Now we need an A12 and an A7. There's an A12. And there's an A7. So the A7 is the bigger one. But they both need to be sanded, I think. All of these pieces need to be sanded. So A12, A7, and then 3 A14s. The sanding helps the things to move. All right, so these like 3 pieces, they get the A14s. And then this middle, I believe, let's zoom in here. Yeah, that middle gets the A7 followed by the A12. I think so anyway. That's how I'm reading it. It's interesting that they're asking for like plus-shaped pieces when they're putting it on U-shaped connector. I think something else is going to go down the middle at the end and go into the 2 sides. Let's see. But for now, we're just putting on basically these bolts, washers, whatever you want to call them. Nuts, washers, probably the best things to call them. All right, now that last piece, my photography was not perfect, so let's look at it on the zoom. If the zoom will ever get a clear picture. All right, B6. B6 is the piece that goes on top. So 41, we're looking for B6. Is that it? Right, this big piece here? Yeah, that's B6. All right, we basically built the base of this thing, I think. All right, so this is, the middle is going to go, basically these same 4 things we just worked on, it's here. We're working with them again. Am I supposed to wax it? I feel like I should, even though it doesn't say to. Can't hurt, right? All right, we got to line up those 3 parts. They're not lining up. All right. I got one of them. I got two of them. You would think the third one would already be lined up. I feel that on the third one, it feels like it's crushing wood. So I got to try to slide that third one a little bit. I mean, it'll go in, but it'll shoot out splinters and it'll be loose. So I got to kind of just like adjust that third one a little bit. All right, let's try it again. Well, it definitely splintered, but it's in. All right, so that's what we got so far. All right, so back to the instructions. All right. Is it only just flip over or does it open up? It opens up, yeah. All right. But the flip over, we got to get at least half of this into the photograph. You know what? Oh, I don't have my phone nearby. All right, I got an idea. I'm going to take a screenshot from my computer. All right. That's not going to work. Let's get a clean input. That's not going to work. HDMI. All right. You think we can read that? You think that's going to work? All right. Nah, no way. That's not going to work. We need a sharper picture than that. All right. We got to do the photography. Let me get my phone. All right. 1 second. To minimize, so it's going to be, you can take a 1-2 minute break if you want. To minimize the annoyance of this, I'm going to take the 3, what do we have? 1, yeah, I think we have 3 pages left. So we're going to photograph all 3 pages. They're not going to be scan quality, but at least we'll be able to read them, and then we'll get them onto the screen. So we'll do all 3 of them at once. Hopefully we can read those. All right, so just a minute, they'll be there. Okay, just uploading them to the Google Drive where I can access them from the computer. Not from the computer, from the iPad, because the iPad is on the, like this is the iPad. And now if I go to the Google Drive, into the Just Rest Your Eyes folder, we should have these 3 pictures now. Okay, so it's 5 the first one? Yeah, that's it. All right, so we got them scanned. Not scanned. I'll scan them better tomorrow. We got something. We got them on the screen. All right. So instruction 3. We're still on instruction 3, huh? All right, we need B8, C9. Wow, this is so complex. Okay. We need, I think, 5 pieces. B8, C9, B9, and 2 B7s. All right, let's get the C first because we haven't used the C sheet yet. All right, so I think there's just 1 C piece, right? C9. And then everything else is B's. All right, there's C8. We need C9. By the way, there's an arrow right there. Where is C9? C16. C9 should be like a piece that looks like a teapot almost. C3 looks interesting. C5, C6, C6, C7, C8. It feels like C9 should be somewhere nearby, right? There's C10. This looks like it says C9. Oh, yeah, it does. So C9 is a circle. Oh, okay, it's B9 that I was thinking of. Is the teapot piece. Yeah. All right, so C9 is just a circle. And at this point, we only need one of them, even though there's 4 of them on the board here. There's actually 8 of them. All 8 of these circles are C9s. Wow, that was like... All right, we got it out. C9. Now we go to the B sheet. All right, so we need 2 B7s, which are right here. They look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. 2 B7s. There's the B9. I don't know if that looks more like a teapot or more like a swan floating on the water, but anyway. There it is. So there we go. And then we need one more piece, B8. It's like, this is the B8 piece. It's like this little, like, sort of nothingish piece here. B8. Is that a plus? B8 and B8 plus? I don't know what that plus means. I'm going to take the B8. I don't think we need the B8 plus. Even though, frankly, they look exactly the same. And they both popped out. All right. Yeah. All right, we're just going to put one of them aside for a minute. Now, I believe the B8 goes through the C9. And then the C9 goes through the B9. All right, let's try to get this even. Let's try to get it halfway through exactly. All right, so then the B9 goes through the C9. B9 through C9. All right. And then it's going to get a B7 on each side. And the B7s have these kind of tabs on the bottom, so they're obviously going somewhere. And then this thing has some movement to it. And that really does look like a swan. All right, or a goose at least. Okay, let's see where that's going to go. All right, so that's going to go on to A13. And there's going to be also B10. So A13, I believe that's a piece we haven't popped out yet. By the way, did I count all those pieces? I didn't, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 46 pieces. I think. Maybe I skipped something. All right, so now we need A13. This is A13. All right. Let's get the point for that. And then another point, another for B10. So B10 is just a little tab. There it is. There's B10. All right, so what do we have to do here? All right, so they're both going to go on this A13. So where is this duck going to go? Frankly, oh, my thumb was covering it. I was about to say I don't see where it goes, but my thumb was covering it. Is this the trigger? Is this going to hold the rubber band? And when you push it back, it releases the rubber band? I don't know. Let's see. It could be. This could be the trigger right here. All right, let's get it in there. And then this, yeah, look at that. I just want to show you this piece. If you know anything about these wooden puzzles, you'll know that the reason those hooks have an opening at one end and they're like kind of a curl hooking down shape is because they're going to hold rubber bands. So there's going to be a rubber band held by this piece, and it's going to be held right in front of this other piece that we're wondering if it's a trigger. So basically, since this rubber band piece is right in front of this trigger piece, it's like even more evidence now that this is the trigger. It's a guess, but like this piece is going to hold a rubber band, and this piece has a hook, and it has a trigger, and it moves. It's looking good. All right. Now, let's go to actual instructions, not just spend all our night guessing. So the next piece we need is D14, which brings us to piece 49, and perhaps more importantly, it brings us to the fourth sheet. There only are 4 sheets. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this one, but there's the little Viking. And there's his axe. All right, so we're already on the 4th sheet. Or at least we're about to take our first piece from the 4th sheet, which is D14. This is it. This is D14. Wait a second. Is there an E sheet? No, that's the C sheet. All right. Have we finished any sheets yet? No sheets finished yet. All right. So, D14. P1? What is that P1? I think we skipped something. Showing some P1. Yeah, what did we miss here? P1. Oh, P1 is just a name for that trigger thing? I think so, right? But they're showing something down here. Like B10, A13, not B10, A13. I think they're just saying it has to poke through. I think that's what they're saying. All right. So D14. Okay. That was just a big double check. Turns out everything's fine. This D14 just gets added. So this little slit in the D14 is going to line up with the A10 or whatever it was. B10 actually. So let's get that on there. You can see it from the back. All right, we have to make sure you can still access the channels on this B10 piece, which we can. So we're moving on. A8. We're now adding A8. So we're up to 50. So we're definitely more than a third of the way through here, because if it was 150 pieces, 50 would be a third, but we're only 142 pieces, so we're even further along. So here's A8. All right. And this is going to go through the middle here, so probably next it's going to connect here. Remember we were talking about we need a piece kind of like this shape to go in here? Well, this is about to go in here. So it's probably going to go there next. That's my guess anyway. How deep does it go in? I think we have to get it in all the way, right? Yeah, I think it goes in. Yeah, you can get it in pretty much all the way. Now, next, A9. Pad a scrap board under and then press. So they want a little support here. All right, let's use this for the support. So this A8 is going to link with this A9, which will be the 51st piece, by going through that board. There we go. You see the little 2 channels there? I guess that's where it's going to go. This is not right. Something's not right here. No, that was incorrect what I said. It would have stuck out too far. They actually want this. I'm confused. Oh, they want it here? And then this piece is going to go there too? That doesn't make sense. Scrap board underneath. It doesn't look right. No matter which side you put it, it doesn't look right. That looks fine, but that's not going to work. This thing seems like it should go on the bottom, but that doesn't work either. All right. I think we can get this on here. But it makes me think, like, do we need to pull this piece out? Like, no one told us to do that. But I don't think this is going to work unless we pull that piece out. Rotate the gray gear several times until it runs smoothly. A9 is supposed to somehow go in here. All right. Wow. It pushes it out the other end. So should we pull this out and put A9 in? They don't say to do that. But let's investigate it. It's the same piece. It's the same piece either way. I don't know. They're asking us to put in a piece that's already there. All right. That was weird. And now I don't know if we counted an extra piece or not. Basically, the piece was already there that they wanted us to put in. So it's already there. Now, rotate the gray gears several times until they run smoothly. Well, I don't know which is the gray gear. Ooh, these gears spin like counter. Do you see this? When you spin the top one way, and the one underneath it goes the other way. That's something's cool is happening. I'm not sure what, but it's running smoothly, which is what they wanted. So that's it, running smoothly. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Okay. Instruction 4. We need 2. What do we need here? No, we don't need 2 of anything. We need C1, C6, C11, and C12. So we're up to 55 pieces. So it's a little bit tricky here. They're all coming from the C sheet. All right, is this the C sheet? It is. So we need C1 and C6. There, we got 2 C1s here. Try to keep these in order. So C1, and then we'll put C6 on the other side. I accidentally popped out a C6. All right. And then C11 and C12. There they are, C11 and C12. C11, C12. All right. Now we just have to match them to look like the picture. So the notch goes on the bottom. It's going to go through the 2 like middle holes. Does that make sense? I guess there's going to be another set on the other side. That's the only way that makes sense. All right, let's get the second one started. And then we'll put the second pin started, and then we'll put the second board on. So I think they're just kind of doubling these up like for strength, you know, so it can have some, withstand some force to launch some arrows later on. Withstand some force to later on launch some arrows with some force. That's what I think anyway. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay. There we go. C5. C5. They want us to connect C5 to the other side. All right. This is C5. Oh, C5 probably goes across the middle. And then we'll do the other side. Remember how the middle of it was like thicker? That's probably what goes there. Wow, is that the launcher? Look at that. It looks like a gun. All right, so C5. How do we line this up? Upside down? Does that make sense? I guess that makes sense. I don't know. All right, so yeah, no. Is it a wider or not? Yeah, it is. It should go around this middle portion. All right, and it does. All right, so that C5 was the middle piece. Now, on the other side, they want another C1 and another C6. 58, Carl Banks. Leaving 56, Lawrence Taylor, going to 58, Carl Banks. If you watched the New York Giants a few decades ago. If not, then I just said nonsense. Sort of depends on your references. All right, C1 goes on the outside. C6, which we accidentally popped off before, goes on the inside. The slant goes on the bottom. All right, so we got this. It should go snug right up against that middle piece. There we go. Does that look right? Why does that look like... I guess it's okay. I mean, it looks a little weird, but I don't know. Okay, and then this piece. All right, we got it. Not sure what we did, but we did it. All right. Now, oh my goodness, what are we doing now? I think we're putting this aside and working on something else that involves D10 and 2 D7s. So that brings us to 61 pieces. And D10 is, I believe it's this piece. One of these two pieces. No, it's not. No, that's the C board. It's not even on C. It's on D. Okay, there's D. Probably we're going to get to those in a minute. I just saw that they have the shape of the launcher. All right, so this is D10. This big piece here is D10. This dwarfs the size of this piece dwarfs that size of that Viking. Just to give you some idea. You can see the Viking there. Kind of looks like a video game Viking, like Castle Crashers or something. All right, so D7s. Where are my D7s? Oh, there's the ROKR logo. D13, D12, some of these are hard to see. They're kind of small. What does it look like? It's a weird little piece. All right, they got to be inside of something we already popped out. Those are B's. Those are more B's. All right. I don't see anything that looks like these D7 pieces. Oh, that's them, D7. Well, they don't look like their pictures. Okay. Whatever. D7. These go through here? Is that what they want us to do? Wow, this looks dramatically different on the two sides. All right, so it's hard to tell which way they're supposed to go, both in terms of the ink and in terms of the bump on them. All right, there's ink on both sides, but one of them has more ink. This one has more ink. This is tricky. All right. I think they just go in a little bit like this. That's what I think. And they both point towards the center. How about that? I'm not sure if that's right or not, but that's what I'm going with. All right. Next instruction. Okay. It's a second D4. No, first D4. I guess the other one was D10. So D4 is this piece. This piece is D4. And this is going to go in the middle. So D4 is the 62nd piece. It kind of looks like D10. And in fact, it's going to attach to this other side of D10. But in the middle is going to go this massive thing that we built. And it goes in this way. So this is obviously going to hold the rubber band at some point. And this is obviously going to move, back. All right, anyway. The slit in the front lines up with the slit in front of this. The two notches, whatever you want to call them, obviously they're going there. And then this is not only going here, but it's going to attach here. So, looks kind of crazy, but it should all click together fairly easily. There's a lot going. There's like huge, heavy pieces, but they're very easy to line them up. There you go. I think we got them. All right. Next. Just before we move on, we need to wax these gears. Oh, we're over an hour, huh? Okay. Good thing we started early. Frankly, I thought we would be moving quicker, but I still think we can get this done. All right, so now we got more pieces, C4 and C2, and also C9, C10, and C8. All right, so that's 5 pieces. So we're up to 67 pieces. All right, so I think that the C9, 10, and 8, I think they need to do that first because I think they need to go in the middle somewhere. So C8, 9, and 10, basically. So there's C8. And then 9 and 10. All right, there's... no, that's B. No, we need C. Okay, C9 is this little circle. We established that before. And C10 is a new piece. It's this pipe here. Kind of, I don't know if pipe is the right term. It's a stick. I don't know what's the right term for it. It's a little piece there. And then we also need C2 and C4, which we basically need to remember which is which. So I'm going to put the C4 here and the C2 down at the bottom. All right. There's little attachment pieces we got to pop out. All right. So let's get this thing in through the middle here. Wow, it's a tight fit. Okay, but we got it. It's going. A little tight, but we got it. And then that goes in the middle of this piece. Now, where does this piece go? Something like down here, but I don't really follow it. Down here? No, I need a minute to think this through. Okay, you flip it upside down. And it's supposed to line up with this piece. But I can't get to that piece because these pieces are not lined up. I think we did this wrong. I think these two outside pieces are wrong. Let's redo them. All right, let's go back here. Previous page. All right, let's do this again. Okay, the notch at the bottom. It looks the same, but you see this notch? It needs to line up with this notch. And that's just not how it looks in the instructions. But maybe I put these on the wrong side. Yeah, I think that's what I did. I think I put those on the wrong side. All right, so I'm just going to switch them to the other side. All right. All right, let's try it again. See if the notches line up this time. They do. All right, so I'm not really sure what the heck we did wrong, and I'm not sure that we fixed it yet. Sort of the weird thing when you mess up. It becomes difficult to correct it without going back and taking things apart and redoing them, but I think this is right. Probably. All right. So now, finally getting to this piece. How does it go in there? Let's just drop it in here like this. Oh yeah, there's a little gear down there. Yeah, it's going to line up with that. Wow, do you see that action? I just want to show you. Watch this pin when I push this. So it goes down. So basically a rubber band's going to hook on there. We're going to press this and the rubber band's going to release. I'm pretty sure that's how that's going to work. All right, so now we got to get this artwork on here. And I lost track of which side was which. Well, I'm just going to do ink side out. So basically, I've got them on the wrong sides if we're following the ink side out rule. Basically, I've lost track of how it's supposed to go. I just know that the ink should always be on the outside. So that I'm going to let that principle guide me. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to work. All right. Yep. Yep, that should do it, all right. Sliding off at some points. Oh, so I watched the second half of that Woody Harrelson movie. It's called Champions, where he's coaching that like special team. That's pretty good. I liked it. Thought it was a good movie. Okay. Got that in, got that through. Same here. All right, I think we got it. Yep, there we go. Ah, did you hear that click? I wasn't on camera. I'll do it again. It's a click. Well, last time it popped out and made a click. It didn't do it the second time, but you can see the action in there. So it looks like I was in the close-up mode and you missed me putting those two outside pieces on. But you heard me saying the principle, ink side out. Ink side out won't do you wrong. All right, what's next? Oops. I guess next is just look at it. Just look at it. All I want you to do is look at it. And the next cell, just look at it. Okay, the cell after that, though, we've got many pieces. I think 6 pieces. C13A and B, C14A and B, and 2 C9s. The C9s are like locking bits, so let's put those on first. 73. I think we're about halfway done now, if that's 73. All right, because it only goes up to 142. All right, so C9s. The battery is at 60%, so I think we got enough battery to finish this, probably, if we're halfway through. All right, let's get the 2 C9s on there. Yeah, on here, on these two that are sticking out. That's where the C9s go. I instinctively thought they went there, but I figured I better double check. All right. All right, the C9s are on. Now C13A and B and C14A and B. All right, so A, B, A, B. So 13A and B and 14A and B. The A's go on the top of it. The B's go on this side. The A's go on that side. So A and B. I'm not sure which side is which at this point. But anyway, I know which is A and which is B. That's B. That's A. These go, all right. B. Yeah, right here. You know, I don't think it's going to really make a big difference if you're wrong. But you can sort of see the way they go in. First of all, the ink faces forward. And then second, they go in just like, you know, you can see the shape they make. They make like a symmetrical shape. Like, look at that. They're like smaller at the top, wider at the bottom. And then same thing for the other side. Ink out. All right, that's done. Okay. And we're halfway through the pieces and we're halfway through the instructions. Makes sense, right? All right, the next instruction, we're adding 2 more pieces, C3 and C7, which brings us to 75 pieces. So C3 is this super fancy piece here. And where is C7? C7 is also kind of a interesting piece. The ink work is not as intricate, but look at the size of C7. That's a massive piece. Sometimes tricky to get out big pieces. You're not sure where to push them because you don't want other parts to break. All right, so the C7 goes on first, and then the C3 goes on with this like fancy part sticking up if you consider this circle as the down. All right, so ink up. Let's get the C7 on there. That should be a fairly tight fit, but you should be able to get it on there. It helps lock everything in. That's cool. Now, are there pins in the front? Or how is this C3 going to link on? There is something there. I'm not sure if that's it, but you know, it's like more room on one side than on the other. How is that possible? All right, let's get on the room. All right, one side went on easy. The other side, it's like, is the whole thing like need to shift over? It does, yeah. Now it's on. All right, that piece is on. Cool. Nice. It's coming right along. All right, now they want us to wax some gears. 2 D3s, 2 D6s. That brings us up to 79 pieces. 2 D3s, 2 D6s. Those are Bs. Those are more Bs. 2 D3s, 2 D6s. That's the C sheet. That's the D sheet. All right, D3s are huge pieces. D6s. What are D6s? There's the D3s. D6s are fairly small pieces. All right. I want all of these pieces waxed, of course. All right. All right. D6. Time to wax the D3s. Wow, that's some serious waxing. Broke the wax piece right in half. All right, D3s, D6s. What do we do with them? I guess they're going to be gears at some point. All right, so the D3's in the middle, obviously. The D6 is on the outside. And we got to add C9s to lock them in. And the piece that everything's going to hold everything together is D15. So we're adding 3 pieces. So we're up to 82 pieces. So 2 C9s and D15, which is a major piece. In terms of importance, I don't know that it's that big of a piece. So here's D15. No, C9. Oh, this little character was done standing in there. All right, so C9, 2 C9s. Yeah, there's the C9s. Oh, I popped out more of them than we needed. But that's how it goes sometimes. All right, so C9. All right, so let's get this in here. Ooh, okay. So it doesn't go all the way on. Okay, cool, cool. All right. We'll put in the the D3s on the D15. And then outside of that, we're putting the D6s. And then locking that in will be the C9s. Okay, C9 it is. Excuse me. Well, we're on the air 90 minutes already, and I'm probably talking the whole time. Ooh, that's kind of like far away. Is that how that's supposed to fit? Yeah, I guess so. I guess something is going to grip it in the middle there. Okay. So we built something, not really sure what. Pay attention to the indentation. Ensure the gears are in the same direction. Great question. Okay, they look like they're in the same direction. Yeah, they look good to me. This part looks a little weird. I wish they would show an angle to tell us if there should be space there or not. But they don't go on any further, so it has to be correct. All right, so now they want two D16s and a D12. And they're going to form... The D16s are going to form like... I don't know how to describe it. They're going to go together. The two D16s are going to go together. And they're going to create like a plus sign. So there's the two D16s. And the D12, the other piece we need is a D12. Wow, the D12 is an insane piece. This is D12. It's like a saw blade. All right, that's D12. So the two D16s are going to scissor each other. And then the D12 is going to go on the outside of those two pieces. Right on that little plus sign in the middle. Right in the middle there. All right, next. We're going to add two B4s. And basically 4 B4s and 4 B5s are going to round this out. The D5s in the middle, the D4s... The B4 is on the outside. So we're adding 8 pieces. So that's going to bring us up to 93 pieces. All right. B4. Are these B4s? These are B2s, B3s. There's one B4. Why is there only one B4? I need 4 B4s. All right, that's a B14, B15, B16. All right, we need 4 D5s. All right, there's some D5s. 1, 2. I love how the D5s are just like randomly anywhere. They're not like in like the same place. They're just like 45. All right, now we need the B4s. 3 more B4s we still need. By the way, there's room on this side now, if it's helpful to you. Yeah, because I'm using the shorter green screen.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, that longer one, I decided to just crop where the green screen goes. It's just easier for me as well. Okay. All right, so there's the B4s. I think we need to sand them a little bit. It's like, look at the splinter on this one. Definitely needs to be sanded. I don't know if it's probably going to wax it after it's all put together. All right, so the B4s go on the outside, the B5s on the inside. And how are we going to make sure that they all line up? I guess as we put them on, we'll just check, but what's going to be tricky is if they're going to, how are we going to keep them lining up on both sides of that saw blade piece? That part's going to be tricky. All right, it's not as tricky as I thought. There's really only 2 ways to put it on. You just, because it has a plus in the middle, you like can't really mess up too bad. Okay, seems to be working. Like, there's only 2 ways really for it to go. All right, and then the B4s, I'm pretty sure those don't matter because they're circles. All right, 2 B4 pieces, get on there. And it's again some space in the middle here. Just like in the previous piece, there's some space in the middle. What's going on? I guess they're going to go on to... something else is probably going to hook onto that space. I mean, there's definitely space on the outside. That's for sure. Oh, we were supposed to wax those gears. I don't know how I didn't do that. Anyway, I'll just do it now. You know what? It's easier this way because it's like held in place by the rest of the structure. It's actually easier to wax it now than before. All right, that's done. Now we have to put this gear. I'm not even sure what we're supposed to do with it. Somehow it's supposed to go in here. Yeah, that looks right, actually. You look at that. That looks perfect. But it's not, there's nothing locking it in, though. It's just like kind of sitting there. All right. So it's about to get locked in. We need B14 and B18, and that brings us up to 98 pieces. So those pieces are right here. Well, no. The B14 is there. But the B18 is somewhere else. There it is. B18. It's a huge piece. Looks like the space shuttle, kind of. Anyway. Okay. B18. So it's going to line up. Oh my goodness. With this gear. So I guess this gear kind of needs to be... This is weird. No, it's supposed to line up with this piece. But if you do that, then why are we making this mobile? It's going to become non-mobile. All right, let's just stick with... I mean, I guess they know what they're doing, so let's just do what they say. But I feel like we're kind of wasting our gears by doing this. So like, oh, the whole thing moves. Okay. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, and then up top here goes the B14. It looks like it's going to take toothpicks in there, but I don't think they've... This came with toothpicks. I guess you just put your own toothpicks in there. Like you see those 4 pinholes? You could put toothpicks in there, and it'll really lock that piece on. But for now, it's just there without the toothpicks. All right, now on the other side is going to go another B14, which I think you could have predicted. This gear is going to go through this circle, which again, you probably could have predicted. We have to be careful about the direction. The saw blade sort of thing, it's going to point in, like, don't point it away from the launcher. Point it towards the launcher. And then on the other side is going to be A15. So that's only adding 2 pieces. All right, so A14 and no, A15 and B14. That there's no... What the what? This A piece, where'd it go? Oh, we already did that. Okay. All right, I don't know what I was talking about. We already did this. This was A15. Okay, we're just going to put the gear in there and make sure the saw blade's facing the right direction. All right. There we go. Now, there is a piece that goes on the other side, but what is that piece? Like, okay, here it says B18. Okay, I think I was supposed to put, I think I already used the A14 when I was supposed to be using the B18. But I also already used the B18. So where the hell did this A15 go? Is it just like sitting on the desk somewhere? Yeah, it is. It's down here. Okay. All right, crises averted. Let's just line that all up, get it on there. Okay. All right. And then pop this B14 on. All right. Did we already count the 2 pieces? I think we did, right? All right, so it's all there. Everything's perfect. I don't know what I was worried about. And now 4 more pieces. 2 D2s and 2 D11s. We're over 100 pieces. We're at now 101 pieces. All right, we need 2 D11s and 2 D2s. 2 D11s and 2 D2s. All right, here we go. D11 and D2. Where are the D11s? Here are the D2s. All right, and the D11s are also right there. Man, we are just moving right along. It's like this puzzle is too easy. Well, I guess that's why it was ranked 3 out of 5 on difficulty. It's an easy puzzle. So it's a good puzzle for someone who starting out, because A, it's easy, and B, it launches, you know, it launches rubber bands, which makes it kind of cool. All right, so D2 and D11, that's what's going to lock this gear in place. Okay, there we go. Those in as far as they should go. Yeah, I don't think they go any further. All right, what's next? All right, B11. 2 B11s, they're going to go together, make a plus sign. And then 4 B4s. Didn't we already do a bunch of B4s? Anyway, more B4s. And then B3. All right, let's do this in phases. Let's do the 2 B11s. So that brings us to 103. So 2 B11s. We still haven't finished a single sheet. All 4 sheets are still active. All right, scissor the B11s. Done. Now, 4 B4s. So let's grab 4 B4s. So that brings us to 107. And we put the 4 B4s on here. The middle is kind of going to be open, I guess you would describe it as. Like the middle is probably going to clamp onto something. So let's get our 4 B4s on there. First one's the toughest one to get on because you got to get these pieces to like control, not go flying all over. All right, so the middle is like kind of open here, but those B4s are on. Will it ever? Let me see here. There we go. I had to manually press the focus button. All right, so now we need a 1 B4, B2, a B2, a B3, and a B4. So 3 pieces are up to 110. 2, 3, 4. B2, B3, B4. All right, there's, that's a D5. All right, that's a B2, a B3, and over here is a B4. Okay. They go in the order of 2, 4, 3. That's the order, 2, 4, 3. So let's this diamond, let's try to have some sense to that. Let's do it like this, because we should match up the other side. So how are we going to match up the other side if we're not going to be able to see this in a second? Interesting. Let's try to get it, the arrows behind this. So I'll put the B4 at the bottom, and we'll put the arrow up here. So arrow should line up with this dot when we get to the other side, which is going to be right now. So now we got to do 2, 4, 3 on the other side and put through here. So there we go. It's through. And then we got to do 2, 4, 3 again. The 3 goes on the outside. The 2 goes on the inside. This is now garbage. And the B4 goes in the middle. And we're going to try to remember that pattern. So the pattern is like this. Arrow, 4, that dot. That's the pattern. And it's got to line up with the dot on this side too. So this thing has to line up with the arrow here. And then we put the B4 on the bottom. And then we line up the arrow on the other side. I'm calling it arrow. It's more like the top of the 5 pieces. It's not lined up. How is that? Oh, probably because I have to know which one is the top of the 5. Like I can't just pick my own top. I have to know which is the top. Well, I don't know which is. I just know that if I don't get it right, it'll be a problem. All right, I think this one looks right. Does it? There's no markings telling me it's right, but I think it's right. All right, next instruction. They just say to admire this. Just, okay, yeah, I admire that. That looks great. Are we going to the last page? Yeah, we're on the last page. And the first instruction for the last page is to, look at all this crap on the desk, is to attach these 2 pieces. So you can see there's like 1, 2, 3 slits here, 1, 2, 3 slits here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This thing is kind of in the way. We'll just push that back. All right, so I don't predict this will be easy, but this is the task at hand. So we need to line everything up and then get it all to go in without breaking. There's like pieces underneath that need to line up. If you can believe it, that side, one of the sides went right in. The other side is not going right in, but I'm sort of emboldened by the first side working that I think we'll be able to get the second side, and we got it. Can you believe it? The next instruction is a rubber band. Pull the rubber band from point A to point B. Was I supposed to already have a rubber band in there? I don't remember them asking for a rubber band. Pull the rubber band from point A to point B. There's also no labels for point A and point B. All right, well, we got to get a rubber band in there, obviously. From point A to point B. So there's one spot for a rubber band. Let's see here on these instructions. As far as I can tell, they just want this rubber band loaded over this duck and on that loop. Like, I don't think they brought this up before. I think it's just, they're just bringing this up now for the first time. All right. They gave us a lot of rubber bands. All right, so put this rubber band on the bottom there. And put this rubber band here. That is not like a really tight rubber band. Does it need to go somewhere else first? Let's take another look. Are there different sizes of rubber band? Because this doesn't seem like it's very tight. It's like very loose. This rubber band. All right, well, I guess we'll figure it out at some point. I'll tell you, it can grab this gear, which is interesting. The little duck here can grab that little saw blade. And that's interesting, but I'm not sure how the rubber band factors in. Yeah, the duck looks like it has rubber band catches there, but I don't see what they're going to do. I mean, I'll do it, but I just don't see how it's going to affect anything. Because there's so much like sag in the rubber band. There's slack in the rubber band, so it's not going to do anything. Anyway, I connected the rubber band at both ends. It's obviously not going to do anything, but let's keep going. Maybe we're missing something. All right, D1 needs to go in this slot here. That's piece 111, D1. Wow, D1's a pretty cool piece. What? Is there a second D1? Where did this come from? Yeah, there's two D1s. How about that? Do they want us to do two of them or one of them? All right. D1 goes through here. That definitely has some rubber band catches on it. So D1 goes in here. I don't know if it gets pushed back or anything. There's no cautions telling me to push it back. But it actually looks like maybe it gets pushed forward. Maybe the second one goes back. Anyway, it doesn't say to do anything yet. It just says to make sure that we wax the back of this thing. And there's it's like a splinter on it, so we also got to sand it. All right. So let's get that in there. All right, now D8, D9, and D13. There's D8, D9, and D13. There's all our pieces. Okay. So that brings us to 114. D8. Wow. It's not popping out. D8. D9. if I can get the piece out. All right, and D13. I think these are both D13s. There's two of them. All right, D8, D9, and D13. These go in how? Like this? I think so. That looks right. Ink out, ink side out, obviously. Well, the first one went in so easy. Second one, not so easy. All right. Second one's going to go in. Not easy, but it going in. And then D13 goes in the middle here. Just kind of like these pieces we added, they do kind of look nice, but I think they also just kind of keep things spaced properly. Like the D8 and 9 keep it like with the proper width on the outside, and then this one keeps it on the inside. It's like locked in good now. Those pieces we just put on, they're like locked it in good. All right, so it says here the rubber band should be installed after folding in half. So was this rubber band supposed to be folded in half? Oh no, that's we didn't get to that instruction yet. All right, that's totally irrelevant. All right, we need to make 3 arrows, and we need to make the little men. All right. So the 3 arrows are 15 and 16 times 3. So that brings us up to 120. Are we like almost done? I mean, if we're up to 120. All right, so we also, let me add 3 more pieces. 123. To just make this man, because the Viking, because those pieces are right there. I just want to get that done. If I can get it out. All right, it's out. All right, so the Viking is like very simple. By the way, it's only the Viking's back that has ink, not his front. So you only see the Viking from the back, I guess. Does his axe, and his axe points to the back. I don't know why that would be, but that's the way, that's what they're asking for. They want the axe in the back. All right, so there's the Viking. I don't know if that's an extra like C1 that they gave us, or if we need that. Anyway, let's build the 3 projectiles. I think they gave us some extra pieces. The projectiles are C15 and C16. We're done. This is it. This is the, I don't know why it says 142. There's nothing really left. There's like no, we're not going to get to 142. There are not 142 pieces in this puzzle, unless they're counting the rubber bands. All right. So let's build the 3 arrows. All right, there's the 3 pieces for the arrows. Let's put them together. That'll take about a second each. 1, 2, 3. I might have to come on with this Ballista for 5 minutes tomorrow to show how it works, because I haven't really figured out the rubber bands yet. All right, it says here The rubber band should be installed after folding in half. P1, P2. So like 2 rubber bands. I think they want rubber bands to go from here to here. That kind of makes sense, actually. But they want them like pulled in half first. You know, there's a tab here. I wonder if that tab is supposed to like go down when you pull that up. Yeah, that looks good. And then when we push this, does it go forward? Well, it'll go forward once the rubber bands are on. All right, so I don't think you need to fold. It says to fold the rubber bands in half. I guess there'll be more power if they're folded in half. All right, let's try that. Install the rubber band after folding in half. All right, I think it's going to be too strong if I fold it in half. But let's see. All right, so 2 rubber bands, that's 125. Okay, now let's see what happens when we push the button down. So far, nothing. Oh my goodness, did you see how fast that went? Okay. Let's cock that again. All right. It's probably already can shoot arrows, but let's just see. Yeah, that's the next thing. Oh my goodness, they want us to add more rubber bands here and here. I mean, how freaking strong is this thing going to become? Oh my goodness. All right. These are the only double up ones. The other ones I think are singles. Or are they? Let's see. I'm going to add them as singles. That brings us to 127. But there's more rubber bands in here. If those are 2 more double ups each, this thing is going to be super powerful. All right, let's just assume that they're singles. All right. All right. So I don't know what this trigger back here is for. This was kind of a fail. This rubber band never really did anything. Maybe it's supposed to hook something up here. I don't know. I don't know where that rubber band is supposed to go. Maybe it's supposed to go over there. With all the other rubber bands. I don't know. I'm not going to do that rubber band yet. I'm confused as to where that one goes. Other than it's supposed to go somewhere on that duck. Like, is this trigger supposed to shoot that rubber band? Or is this supposed to shoot it? Or is this supposed to pull that if it has the rubber band on correctly? Which I don't know. Maybe the rubber band is supposed to loop over this and then come back and hook here? I don't know. Let's see. It seems like they're saying to shoot an arrow. So let's shoot an arrow. It's probably going to come out at 100 miles an hour. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't take anyone's eye out. I'm wearing glasses, so I'm somewhat protected. All right, so how do I load this? Just like this? All right. This is somewhat insane. I'm pointing it. Let's point it kind of at that back curtain and see what happens. All right. Insert arrow into the slot. Yeah, this is the trigger. This is the trigger. So they're admitting that's the trigger. I don't know what that hook is for. Knob, hook, base turntable. I still don't know really what this hook at the bottom's for. I guess just to lock it in place. So in that case, this rubber band probably does go up here because it'll kind of help lock that in place. But that's assuming that it's doing going through the other spots first. Maybe what it's supposed to do is pull it down from the bottom. That makes more sense. Alright, yeah, that's probably correct. But in which case, this is not strong enough at all. Unless it's going to hook to something on the bottom, which they haven't, or maybe something in the front. Because really, once the tension's there, you can hook it anywhere you want. I don't know where to hook this bottom one. I'll come on tomorrow with the answer. But for now, let's shoot this arrow and see how friggin' fast it goes. Alright. You ready? Let's see what happens. That didn't seem that fast. By the way, I have a light that's slightly off screen, and you probably heard it hitting metal. That's what it hit. I mean, it's like, it was basically luck. I wasn't aiming at it, but that's where it hit. So that's the last instruction. The only thing is that this rubber band is supposed to hold that hook in place. So this thing can do like some cool stuff. It could like, you know, turn like this, and it can like adjust the height. See, I have to take that duck off to adjust the height. So this thing, this knob here, adjusts the height, and then this duck is supposed to have a rubber band, and it goes into that saw blade, and it like stops it from moving. So now I can't move anymore. But that's assuming that the rubber band keeps it in place. So I think the rubber band maybe is supposed to start here, feed through there, and end here. So I'm not going to do that on stream tonight, but I might bring this on tomorrow just to show you. For now, I'm just going to shoot one more arrow, and then we're going to sign off because my son has a track meet tomorrow, so I got to go. All right, let's just shoot one more arrow, and then that's it for the night. Okay, the arrow is loaded. Let's adjust the height a little bit. Shoot this one a little high. Oh, no. Let's shoot it low. Ah, the rubber band is working. It locked in place. I'm going to shoot it low and see if I could hit the Viking. Maybe the Viking is a bad guy. I don't know. You think I got it low enough to hit the Viking? Let me do one click lower. I got to pull that duck back so I can get it one click lower. All right, put the duck back in place. All right, can we hit the Viking? It's one way to find out. Let's press this button and see what happens. We missed him. All right, we got to get this thing lower somehow. Or maybe we got to raise the Viking up. All right, let's one more try. We got 3 arrows, right? So we got one more arrow. All right, last arrow. We're going to hit that Viking with this arrow. He's not getting away. All right, is that lined up? Here goes nothing. We got him. But he survived. He was still on his feet. The Viking was still on his feet. Well, it's a draw, I guess. We hit the Viking on our 3rd arrow, but he stayed on his feet. So let's call that a draw. I think I'm pretty happy with this ROKR Ballista. I think it's pretty cool. There's not, too many things that work like this. Look at this. You like spin it one way and it counter spins the other way. You pull this off and you could change the height. It's got a very powerful cannon. I think it's pretty cool. And you could build it in 90 minutes. I did it in 2 hours, but I'm slow. All right, I think it was pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll say goodnight for tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow where hopefully we do the game console. See you tomorrow.